License revocation. Revocation is the removal of your privilege to drive. It is required by law upon conviction of certain driving offenses. Once your revocation period has ended, your driving privilege will remain revoked until an investigation is completed. The investigation is to determine that all withdrawal actions have ended and that all statutory requirements are met. You will be required to pay the appropriate application fee and a $20 reinstatement fee. And you may be required to file a certificate of insurance, commonly known as in State Route 22. A written, vision, and road test may be required. Your driving privilege will be revoked for, but not limited to, driving a vehicle under the influence of any drug, any homicide or aggravated assault involving the use of a vehicle, any felony in which a vehicle is used, perjury to motor vehicle department while under oath, perjury relating to the operation or ownership of a vehicle, failing to stop if you are involved in an accident, aggravated DUI. Your driving privilege can also be revoked for 2 or more convictions of a DUI, racing on the highway, or reckless driving. Additionally, they can be revoked if you fail to pass a required driving retest. If you are deemed medically, physically, or psychologically unfit to operate a vehicle, or if continuing to operate a vehicle would endanger the lives of others. Suspension and traffic school. You can have your driving privilege temporarily suspended if your driving record is reviewed and you are found unfit to drive. Your license may be suspended. It will remain suspended until you are allowed to apply for reinstatement. Every time you are convicted of a traffic violation, points are assessed to your driving record. Accumulating 8 points or more in 12 months can lead to your license being suspended for up to 12 months. You may also be required to attend traffic survival school. MVD may suspend or revoke your driving privilege or require you to attend and complete an approved traffic survival school, TSS, if you have been convicted of running a red light or flashing red light. TSS is mandatory in addition to paying all court fines, fees. Have been convicted of frequent serious offenses that show disrespect for traffic laws and a disregard for the safety of others. Have been convicted of reckless driving or are repeat reckless or negligent drivers. Have committed or permitted an unlawful or fraudulent use of your driver's license. Have been convicted of driving a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or toxic vapors. Have been arrested for refusal to take or complete a chemical test, alcohol, drug content. The penalty for refusal or unsuccessful completion is a 12-month suspension of your driver's license or 2 years for a second or subsequent refusal within 7 years. Have an unresolved judgment from another state. Have committed an offense for which mandatory revocation of the driving privilege is required. Upon conviction, are under 21 and have been convicted of receiving, consuming, or possessing alcohol, are under 21 and have been convicted of any illegal drug violation, are medically unsafe to drive a motor vehicle, have been convicted as a driver in an accident resulting in death or personal injury or serious property damage, have been convicted of violating a driver's license restriction, have failed to comply with a certified ignition interlock device order, are under 18 and have been convicted of your first moving civil traffic violation or certain criminal traffic offenses. To reinstate your license following a suspension, you will be required to pay a fee and file an State Route 22 certificate of insurance with the MVD. Driving on a suspended or revoked license. If you drive with a suspended license, you could have your vehicle impounded for up to 30 days. If you are convicted of driving on a suspended or revoked license, your period of suspension or revocation will be extended for an equal time, up to an additional year. A person that is convicted of not having or failing to produce evidence of current financial responsibility within the vehicle shall receive a suspension of the driving license, vehicle registration, and license plates, as directed by the courts, for 3 months for a first violation, 6 months for a second violation within 36 months, 1 year for a third or subsequent violation within 36 months. Failure to appear or pay fine for citation. If you fail to pay a traffic citation or appear in court, your license can be suspended. When you are cited for a traffic violation, your signature on the citation is your promise to appear in traffic court. If you fail to appear in court or fail to pay a fine, the court will direct MVD to suspend your driving privilege. If you are under 18, your driving privilege may be suspended for failure to appear in court, pay a fine, or failure to comply with any court order. Traffic ticket enforcement. Arizona courts report to MVD any person who is delinquent in paying fines or penalties for civil or criminal traffic, boating violations, or who has failed to appear in a criminal traffic, boating case. MVD is then required to update the person's record to prohibit the renewal of any vehicle registrations with that person as an owner. Physical fitness, health. It's important to be physically and mentally fit enough to drive. If you are not feeling well, even if you just have a cold or a headache, do not drive if possible. Allow someone else to drive or postpone your trip if possible. Medical restrictions. If you have had a seizure in the last 3 months when you apply for a driver's license, you are required to report it to the MVD. You will then need to undergo a medical exam to be sure you are physically fit to drive. If you have a license and suffer a seizure, you are required to report it to the MVD and undergo an exam. Be careful when taking any medications before you drive. They can negatively affect your ability to drive safely. Check with your doctor for possible side effects. Address change. If you change your address, you must notify the MVD within 10 days. Failing to do so can result in you not receiving important renewal notices. You can also be cited if you fail to change your address within the required 10-day time frame. If you submit a change of address request, it will update all records for you, including your driver's license and your vehicle registration. You do not need to change them separately. To change your address, you must notify the MVD in writing. It cannot be done over the phone. You will need to mail a form or go directly to a DMV office. Operator license, Class D. If you hold a Class D operator license, you are legally allowed to drive any vehicle not requiring a commercial license or a motorcycle license. To apply for an operator license, you must be at least 18 years old. Motorcycle license, Class M. To legally operate a motorcycle on Arizona roads, you must have a motorcycle endorsement. You need to be at least 16 years old to apply. If you are under 18, you must have had an instruction permit for a minimum of 6 months before applying. The permit needs to be valid when you apply. You also need to complete an approved motorcycle driver education program. If you hold a motorcycle license from out of state, you do not need to go through motorcycle education and you are exempt from the permit requirements. Commercial driver license, Class A, B, or C. To drive a heavyweight vehicle, a vehicle with a gross weight of 26,001 pounds or more, or a vehicle that can carry 16 or more passengers, you will need to obtain a commercial driver's license. You must be at least 21 years old to obtain a commercial license. If you are at least 18 but under the age of 21, you can apply for a commercial license that is valid only in Arizona. To apply for a commercial license or renew an existing license, you must complete a physical exam and submit a copy of the physical examination form when Applying. If you fail to complete the form or provide inaccurate information, your application may be denied. You are required to maintain your medical qualification with the MVD, and you will need to submit the form every 24 months. If you don't, your commercial license may be suspended. Identification, ID card. If you do not have a driver's license, you can obtain an identification card. This is available to anyone no matter what their age. You are not allowed to have both a driver's license and an identification card at the same time. You may only have one or the other. Duplicate license. If you need a duplicate license, you can obtain one from the MVD. You can get a duplicate license if you lost yours or if it becomes unreadable. If you believe it was stolen, you should report it to the police department. You can also apply for a duplicate license if you change your name or address or if you wish to update your photo. In many cases, you can apply for a duplicate license on the MVD website. However, if your name or address has changed or your license was issued before July 1995, you will need to visit an MVD office. Items needed for a title and registration. The following steps must be taken to obtain an Arizona title, registration, and license plate for a vehicle previously titled or registered in another state. This is general information only. Any title and registration action may present special requirements. Physical inspection of the vehicle. The make, vehicle identification number, VIN, body style, and other general vehicle information must be verified at an MVD office before registration. In addition, if there are obvious safety or mechanical flaws, registration may be denied until repairs are completed. Inspections may be suspended due to rain and extreme weather conditions. Emission test. Arizona requires your vehicle to undergo an emissions test. You may not be able to register your vehicle if you have not completed the emissions test. Vehicle insurance. Every motor vehicle operated on the roadways of this state must be covered by an insurance policy issued by a company that is licensed to do business in Arizona. The policy must be an Arizona-based policy that reflects where the vehicle is predominantly being operated. Organ donation program. A donor registry has been established in Arizona. To indicate your decision to be a donor, simply visit www.servicearizona.com and click on the Donate Life logo to register online or call 1-800-94-DONOR. The application for a driver's license or identification card will include a box for you to check. If you would like to be added to the Donate Life AZ registry as an organ and tissue donor. Medicode doctor's statement. Space is provided on your license to indicate medical conditions that may require immediate attention. You must present a statement about the medical condition, dated within 90 days, signed by a licensed physician or registered nurse practitioner to obtain a medical code on your license.